Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. We have some housekeeping items to go over. So good evening. I will call on the board members to speak on each public item one by one following staff's presentation. When speaking, please announce your name and speak slowly. Each item will require a motion and a roll call vote. Comments from the public submitted via email will be read up to 3 minutes, and members of the public and applicants will be notified when to speak. Only one comment will be accepted per person, up to 3 minutes, except applicants may have longer comment periods. And I would like to remind everyone to please place their microphones on mute when you are not speaking and your phone's on silent. So we're going to go ahead and call to order a special meeting of the Property Maintenance and Building Rehabilitation Appeals Board. And flag salute, Board Member Barragon, please.
Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Ruth.
Commissioner Board Member Barragan,
Present.
Board Member Garcia,
Here.
Vice Chair Lopez,
Present.
Chair Apodaca.
Here. All right, the first item on the agenda is the reorganization of this board for the upcoming year. So we are going to open the nomination for position of chair. I'll make the nomination for Commissioner Lopez to be chair.
Second.
Okay, we have a nomination and a second. Any others? All right, seeing none, we'll close the nomination for position of chair and we'll take a roll call, please.
Board Member Barragan,
Aye.
Board Member Garcia,
Aye.
Board Member Lopez,
Aye.
Board Member Apodaca.
Aye. Okay, so now the newly appointed chair will take over and start from there.
Okay, now it's to open nomination for position of vice chair or to make nomination for position of vice chair. Is there any nominations?
I'll nominate Chair Barragan for vice chair.
Is there a second or any other nomination? I'll make that second. To close nomination for position of vice chair, roll call, please.
Board Member Barragan,
Aye.
Board Member Garcia,
Aye.
Board Member Lopez,
Aye.
Board Member Apodaca.
Aye.
Next are the meeting minutes for the Special Property Maintenance and Building Rehabilitation Appeals Board meeting on June 28, 2023. Can I have a motion?
I'll move it.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Board Member Barragan,
Aye.
Board Member Garcia,
Aye.
Board Member Lopez,
Aye.
and Board Member Apodaca.
Aye.
Next on the agenda is a public hearing to consider a report on delinquent trash collection accounts. Ruth, public notice information, please.
Chair Lopez, members of the board, on May the 1st, 2,493 notices were mailed to all delinquent account holders. The notice was posted on May 31st at the city's 3 posting places and published on the same date. As of this date, no response has been received.
Staff report, please.
Good evening, Chair and members of the board. The City of Norwalk provides mandatory refuse service to protect the public health and welfare of our residents. As such, Athens Services picks up trash weekly, billing customers on a quarterly basis. Payment for services is due within 30 days from the billing date, and a late fee is added if payment has not been made by the end of the service quarter. And our hauler makes attempts during the year to collect on past due accounts. Next slide. As authorized in the municipal code, the hauler is allowed to seek payment through the tax rolls in July of each year for the period of May 1st of the previous year through April 30th of the current year. In May, 2,493 notices were prepared and mailed to all property owners with a delinquent balance as of April 30th. Delinquent accounts totaled $436,068. Since the notices went out, some delinquent accounts have been paid and payments will continue to be received through July 31st. Next slide. Staff recommends the appeals board forward the listed properties to City Council with the recommendation that delinquent properties be placed on the county tax roll unless the outstanding balance is paid by July 31st. This concludes my report. I am available to speak with any property owners present this evening or answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. Does the board have any questions for staff? If there are no questions, the public hearing is now open. Public testimony will now be heard in the following order. Property owners and or tenants in favor. Is a property owner available and wishing to speak? This is one. Okay, I have a request to speak for Board of Appeals. I have Miss Ohana. Would you like to? I received a request to speak. Is that person here?
Chair Lopez, I believe she left.
Oh, she left. Okay.
Yes.
So then I just did this, I guess, this side. Staff, were there any public comments in favor that were received prior to the meeting?
None received.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone in attendance who is in favor? Staff, were there any public comments in opposition that were received prior to this meeting?
None received.
Is there anyone in attendance who is in opposition? Okay, at this point, I declare the public hearing closed. I would like to bring the discussion back to the board. Does the board have any questions or any comments? Beginning with Board Member Apodaca.
I have none tonight.
Board Member Barragán. No. Board Member Garcia.
Yes, I just have one question. That there was more delinquent notice this fiscal year as was last year. What was the difference and why?
Can you repeat your question one more time?
Last year, there was 135,000 whatever 165,000 delinquent notices, and we only we got
Yep.
about 160,000, about 16,000. But this year it looks like you have 435,000 delinquent fees. The question again from last year is how much of those fees will you recover for the city?
So I don't have the latest calculations, but for the two previous fiscal years, the loss was 11,000 for 1 year and 20,000 for the following. So we recover a good amount of it. So that's the only difference. The 11,000 and 20,000, that becomes Athens' loss.
And then I myself, I don't have any comments about this. Okay, so can I have a motion? Okay.
Excuse me. I'll move to direct staff to forward the listed properties to the City Council with a recommendation that the delinquent properties be placed on the county tax roll unless the outstanding balance is paid prior to July 31st, 2024.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Board Member Apodaca.
Aye.
Board Member Garcia.
Aye.
Vice Chair Barragán.
Aye.
Chair Lopez.
Aye. Thank you. Next on the agenda is a public hearing to consider a report on emergency board of costs. Ruth, public notice information, please.
Chair Lopez and members of the board, notice was duly posted on June the 14th at the city's 3 posting places and mailed to the property owner of record. As of this date, no response has been received.
Thank you. Staff report, please.
Good evening, Chair and members of the board. We have the annual report on the cost of emergency board-ups for the work performed for the fiscal year 2022 to 23 and 2023 to 2024. As required, the property owners were provided notice and the recordation of the substandard conditions were also filed with the LA County Recorder's Office. There are a total of 2 properties that received notice. The fiscal year delinquent amount totals are $9,198.62 and $5,597.61 respectively. This evening, we are asking the board to recommend that City Council forward the amounts indicated for these properties to be placed as a lien on the county tax roll unless the balances are paid prior to August 1st of this year. That concludes my report unless there are any questions. And this is the sheet that actually shows the breakdown.
Does the board have any questions for staff?
I don't.
None.
If no questions, the public hearing is now open. Public testimony will now be heard in the following order. Property owners and or tenants in favor. Staff, were there any public comments in favor that were received prior to the meeting?
No, there were not.
Thank you. Is there anyone in attendance who is in favor? Staff, were there any public comments in opposition that were received prior to this meeting?
No, there were not.
Is there anyone in attendance who is in opposition? At this point, I declare the public hearing closed. I would like to bring the discussion back to the board. Does the board have any questions or any comments? Beginning with board member Apodaca,
None from me tonight.
board member Barga, board member Garcia.
No.
And I don't have any comments or questions or concerns. Can I have a motion?
All right, I'll move to direct staff to forward the listed properties to the city council with the recommendation that the delinquent amounts be placed on the county tax roll unless the outstanding balance is paid prior to August 1st of 2024.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Board Member Apodaca.
Aye.
Board Member Garcia.
Aye.
Vice Chair Barga.
Aye.
Chair Lopez.
Aye. Okay, now we move to oral communications. Is there anyone wishing to speak under oral communications? Does staff have any comments?
No
There be-
comments from staff.
Thank you. There being no further business, this meeting is adjourned.
So we'll take a short few-minute recess until we begin the Planning Commission. Thank you.
Okay, good evening. I will call on planning commissioners to speak on each public item one by one, following staff's presentation. When speaking, please announce your name and speak slowly. Each item will require a motion and a roll call vote. Comments from the public submitted via email will be read up to 3 minutes. Members of the public and applicants will be notified when to speak. Only one comment will be accepted per person up to 3 minutes, except applicants may have longer comment periods. I would like to remind everyone to please place your microphones on mute when you are not speaking. A special meeting of the Norwalk Planning Commission is called to order. Can we have Commissioner Garcia lead us in the flag salute?
Sure. Stand up, join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Ruth, roll call, please.
Commissioner Barragan, Commissioner Garcia,
Here.
Vice Chair Apodaca,
Here.
Chair Lopez.
Here. Thank you. The first item on the agenda is the approval of minutes of the Special Planning Commission meeting on March 13, 2024. Can I have a motion?
I motion that they be approved.
I'll second them.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Barragan,
Aye.
Commissioner Garcia, Vice Chair Apodaca,
Aye.
Chair Lopez.
Aye. Okay, next we move to the public hearing. Next on the agenda is a public hearing to consider zoning text amendment number 2024-01. Ruth, public notice information, please.
Chair Lopez and members of the commission. On June the 14th, a notice was duly posted at the city's three posting sites on the city's website and published. As of this date, one phone call has been received asking for clarification. In addition, a letter was received this afternoon from the law firm of Jordan R. Csen on behalf of Unite Hill Local 11, expressing several concerns with all of the zoning text amendments for specific Plan Area 1. A copy of the letter has been provided to the commission this evening.
Thank you. Staff report, please.
Good evening, Madam Chair and members of the Commission. The presentation before you is Zoning Text Amendment 2024-01, known as ZTA 24-01, which is a staff-initiated project. Staff intends to amend various sections of Title 17 as it relates to specific plan area number 1. The specific plan area SPA 1 was adopted in 1987 by ordinance number 1267, which was intended to establish objectives, regulations, development standards, and review criteria for the implementation of a compatible blend of mutually supporting land uses consisting of a multi-story hotel, a wide array of professional offices, and retail commercial uses, complementary commercial entertainment uses, and residential condominiums. Specific plan number 1, SPA 1, encompasses approximately 20 acres, is bounded on the west by Norwalk Boulevard and Santa Ana Freeway, to the south by the Santa Ana Freeway and Dace Street, to the east by Volunteer Avenue, and to the north by Civic Center Drive. The zoning text amendment will modify SPA 1 through various changes to further advance the objectives in fostering a compatible combination of complementing commercial, retail, and residential uses. Currently, SPA 1 only allows for one hotel. The proposal would allow for an additional hotel. The list of allowable uses is proposed to be expanded to also include billboards, arcades, a bowling alley, entertainment venues, and lounges. If adopted, this amendment will allow for potential future uses subject to applicable review requirements set forth in the specific plan, including amendments Also, the prohibited list will now list additional uses inconsistent with SPA 1 objectives, such as collection agencies, credit card services, and liquor stores. Thank you. The proposed zoning text amendment will also provide a mechanism and a process for wayfinding signage, which usually is located on prominent entry intersections to or within a shopping center. Currently, there is no process. The ZTA will also modify the rules and procedures for final decision-making authority. Our analysis regarding the project is that the SPA 1 is a unique and prominent center where the text amendments to SPA 1 will build on the current success of a thriving commercial center and take advantage of its position in Norwalk by facilitating new opportunities. The text amendment will allow a second hotel, provides greater flexibility, and allows for additional development. The updated list of permitted uses will ensure consistency and uniformity with the objectives of SPA 1 and enhancing a successful commercial center, enhancing its appeal and attraction for economic development. The removal of incompatible uses will also enhance SPA 1 by cultivating an environment conducive to complementing supporting establishments that will only enhance the commercial center. The text amendment provides a process for wayfinding signage, which will clarify the zoning ordinance and establish an approval process to ensure appropriate review and consistency in establishing such signage in the city. The streamlining of the entitlement process will expedite the approval process by removing barriers. The project is exempt from CEQA through CEQA guidelines, section 15061B3, as the project does not involve any construction, nor will have a significant effect on the environment. Also, new projects would require an environmental review, as the zoning text amendment only modifies the SPA 1 in the Norwalk Municipal Code. The project is also aligned with the general plan in facilitating uses that complement the existing hotel, the theater, and other uses throughout the rest of the city center. Staff recommends that Planning Commission recommend approval to City Council for zoning text amendment number 2024-01.
Thank you. Does the commission have any questions for staff? If no questions, the public hearing is now open. Public testimony will now be heard in the following order. First order would be those in favor, the second is those opposed, and the third is a rebuttal if needed. Staff, were there any public comments in favor that were received prior to this meeting?
There were no comments received in favor. There was one letter received, as Ruth had mentioned today. A copy was provided to the commissioners and made part of the record.
Thank you. Is there anyone in attendance who is in favor? Staff, were there any public comments in opposition that were received prior to the meeting?
Yes, the letter was received today this afternoon. A copy was made and is made part of the record.
Okay, now is there anyone in attendance who's in opposition? I see that I have these cards in front of me with a list of people who are requesting to speak. I'll start with Jordan Csen. Hope I'm saying that right. If you could just please identify who you are and your address, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and fellow commissioners. My name is Jordan Csen. I live in Riverside, California, but here representing Local 11. I'm the author of the letter that was mentioned earlier. I have submitted a request to speak for each item 2, 3, and 4. In lieu of speaking for 3 minutes for each of those, I would ask to indulge maybe 5 minutes in total, and I will concede speaking if that's okay with the chair, which I believe you have the discretion.
Is that allowed?
It's
Okay.
up to the discretion of the
Oh,
chair.
that's fine.
Thank you so much.
Thank
I
you.
really do appreciate it. Again, Jordan Csen, I'm a land use CEQA attorney. As you heard, I did submit this letter. Hard copy should be before all of you. As you heard, there are significant concerns for my client with this project. In the limited time, I just wanted to kind of walk through and highlight some of those things. Please let me know if none of you have, and you guys need one. I have extra copies, but I was hoping to kind of go through some of these concerns. On page 2, one of the fundamental issues here is that this, respectfully, is not really a staff-driven or a potential use. There is a clear project and vision for this site, specifically a 121-room Holiday Inn located just south of the Doubletree Hotel. This is pretty clear based off of city documents. In February of 2024, just a few months ago, the city did a draft EIR for one of its specific plans that's not in this area. This is identified on page 2. I've highlighted what's called cumulative project number 4, a Holiday Inn at Norwalk Entertainment Center at 1311 Sycamore Drive, a new 5-story, 121-room hotel. It continues to say, with a new digital billboard, pending resubmittal. This is clearly within the spa area. However, the 4-page staff report makes no mention of this, which is kind of unusual if you look at what the zoning text amendment is actually proposing. If you flip to the next page, you'll see the resolution. The added language is bolded and underlined. It includes additional uses in what's called the parking utility area. This is the area just south of the existing Doubletree Hotel. It specifically allows billboards, also entertainment venues, and moreover allows 2 hotels. Now, if it walks like a duck, talks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck. I'm looking at the zoning text amendment, and it looks pretty clear that it's apples to apples in furtherance of this project, which again is not mentioned anywhere in your 4-page staff report. This is concerning under CEQA because under CEQA, you're supposed to describe the entire project and look at the entire impacts of the project, not piecemeal them through minor approvals where you say, oh, it's exempt here, it's not mitigated there, not looking at the full impacts. Why is this project not before you with all of its other entitlements? That's how CEQA is supposed to work. My second point, which is on the following page, is that here, the guidelines that were riddled off doesn't tell you what sort of exemption the city is requiring. They're saying it's a common sense exemption. This is a very high burden for the city. The city has to demonstrate that there's no possibility of environmental impacts. Even substantial evidence of there might be an impact makes the exemption inapplicable. Here, there is substantial evidence. Again, this specific plan amendment was adopted nearly 40 years ago. Now, the staff report does not include what that CEQA review was or include that environmental impact report. So you don't really know if 2 hotels were allowed or if entertainment uses were ever envisioned 40 years ago. It's pretty clear it's not. Keep in mind, when this specific plan area was approved in 1987, I believe, yes, 1987, 3 years prior, there was a new hotel built, a 170-room Doubletree Hotel. That was there 3 years before the city adopted that specific plan area. So clearly, they envisioned one hotel for this entire area. That hotel already existed. It didn't contemplate 2 hotels or a potential 121-room hotel. So the city can't say that, well, we analyzed it 40 years ago. That's a big important thing to keep in mind here. Another important point is that, let's think about a 121-room hotel. You're going to have to construct it. It's going to make noise. It's going to have air impacts. That can impact the residents right across the street. Has that been analyzed? No. Also consider the traffic generated by the hotel patrons and the workers. Those are going to generate vehicle miles traveled, or VMTs. Has that been analyzed? No. Also, those VMTs have what we call associated mobile emissions that has air impacts and also impacts on greenhouse gas emissions. Has that been analyzed anywhere in the 4-page staff report? No. This is clearly known to the city because in their draft EIR, which it contemplated for a different project, a 150-room hotel, it acknowledges you're going to have VMTs. You're going to have air impacts. You're also going to have induced demand for housing. None of this is analyzed before you. That's unfortunate. Another important point is that entertainment uses, such as amphitheaters, event spaces, these are typically considered regional serving, not local serving. Unlike a local supermarket or your dry cleaner where a neighbor can go and get their dry cleaning, these generate folks from out of the region. That's a massive VMT, and many public agencies, including the Office of Public Research, says that warrants analysis. How many VMTs are going to be generated by those type of uses? Is that before you in the staff report? No, unfortunately, it's not. In addition, why that's important is because there are numerous strategies and mitigation measures that have been crafted by numerous public agencies over the last 40 years. Are you considering any of those modern mitigation measures? No. You're asking to approve potentially an amendment of a speculative use when it looks pretty clear that there's a real project envision here. The third point is that, right now, it's been almost 40 years, and you're being asked to consider additional uses. Now, they're providing flexibility for commercial uses, but why not provide flexibility for residential uses? Your recent RENA obligation is over 5,000 housing units. More than 60% are for affordable. Perhaps the best and highest use is a mixed-use project that includes affordable units here. That's
Sorry.
right.
Sorry. Thank you for your comments.
Thank you. Just to real quickly, please deny the project. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next person I have on my card to request to speak about the topic is Christina Sanchez. You could just please state your name and your address, please.
Good afternoon. My name is Christina Sanchez, and I am a Norwalk resident. I live at 12138 Oranday Road, Norwalk, California. And I am, like I said, a Norwalk resident and also a Unite Here local member. I oppose item 2. I really believe that we need to make sure that the development is in the best interest of our city. What makes me very concerned is that the process here. I understand that there's a developer who has expressed interest in building a hotel and a digital billboard in this area. But that is not disclosed in any of the information given to you and to the public tonight. I think you need to have all the information disclosed to you and to the community to make the right decisions. We should really consider whether the city needs another hotel and billboards. Please don't rush into this and vote no. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next is Adali King. You could just say your name and your address, please.
Hi, good evening. My name is Adali King, and I'm one of the leaders from Unite Here Local 11, representing all the citizens from the city. The way that I want to say is I really, really urge you to reject the amendment on specific plan 1 that will allow for more hotel development. Southern California is in the must of a housing crisis, not on a need for more hotels. The city focus should be on creating more housing opportunities, not expanding hotels and, billboard developments. For example, the specific plan could be revised to permit housing all over the planned area. This change could significantly help others on housing needs and also provide more affordable options for residents. Other cities in Los Angeles and Orange County, they require hotels to secure development agreements. Over here, what we need, these agreements give the city authority to decide if a hotel project is suitable for the location and to negotiate for community benefits. such as affordable housing funds, public spaces, and environmental improvements to address any negative impact by the project. However, the proposed amendment lacks such requirements, limiting the city's ability to ensure hotel projects aligns with community interests. Under current laws, developments already can request amendments for attractive hotel projects. A cause in points is that Transit Village project, where a specific plan and development agreement for a hotel is under consideration. This demonstrates that here are already putaways for hotel development without changing the existing plan. In conclusion, amending specific plan number 1 to accommodate an additional hotel is unnecessary. And I think it detracts from the urgent need to address the housing shortage. Please consider focusing on policies that promote more housing rather than expanding hotel and billboards. Thank you.
I have a question. I have a question.
Yes.
Can you tell me this Unite 11, what type of workers are you representing?
We are representing all kinds of workers. So it's called the Power Work. So we represent everyone that, is working on all kinds of industries. We also represent hotel workers, but we represent, store workers. We represent any kind of workers, all kinds.
So hotel workers?
We also do those, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And just, I have a question, maybe they can, and the client, who is the client?
The client related to
Yes,
the letter.
yes,
So the attorney who provided testimony, it appears that he represents Unite Here Local 11. And then the folks who are providing testimony after that, the two ladies, they are members of that organization. Is that correct?
so look up.
And generally, they represent hospitality workers.
Thank you, Director. Just for clarity, I do represent Unite Here Local 11. These are fellow members, include over thousands throughout Southern California. They represent hospitality workers, entertainment workers in Southern California and Arizona, including roughly at least 100 members who are citizens who work and live in Norwalk. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Okay, and next I have Andy Seymour. And of course, just state your name and your address, please.
Hi, Andy Seymour. I'm at 111 and 1/2 North New Hampshire Avenue, which is in Los Angeles. So yeah, as I said, good afternoon. My name is Andy Seymour. I'm also here from Unite Here Local 11, representing, as already mentioned, right, over 30,000 hotel, hospitality workers, event center workers, including some Norwalk residents. So we strongly oppose the proposal to amend specific plan area number 1. To allow for additional hotel development, right? We're opposing this. Southern California faces a significant housing shortage, not a lack of hotels. Affordable housing is a big priority for all of our members. And under current law, hotel developers already have the opportunity to request specific plan amendments for their projects, provided they offer compelling reasons. For instance, Norwalk is currently reviewing a specific plan and development agreement for Norwalk Transit Village that includes a hotel. Why are we stopping that process here? This proposal to amend the specific plan unnecessarily restricts the city's ability to ensure that hotel developments truly serve the community's best interests. Moreover, as already mentioned, cities across Los Angeles and Orange County mandate that hotels secure development agreements. These agreements empower cities to evaluate whether a hotel is appropriate for a given site and to negotiate substantial community benefits, such as funding for affordable housing, accessible public spaces, and environmental enhancements to mitigate projects' community impacts. So this proposed amendment lacks such requirements. So instead of expanding hotel and billboard developments, the city should prioritize initiatives that foster housing growth or consider these development-specific agreements, such as are mandated in cities like Buena Park. For example, revising the specific plan to allow housing in all parts of the specific plan area could significantly address our housing needs. Please vote no. So thanks for considering these points.
Thank you. Thank you for speaking. Okay, next up we have Paloma Sanchez. Oh, no. Okay. Okay. And if there's a rebuttal to anybody who spoke against the issue, they can go ahead and speak as a rebuttal. But at this point, I declare the public hearing closed. I'd like to bring the discussion back to the Planning Commission. Does Planning Commission have any questions or any comments? Beginning with Commissioner Apodaca.
Madam Chair, this
Yes.
is Gloria at the City
Sorry.
Attorney's Office. If you don't mind, I'd just like to discuss something really quickly with the Director. Can we have like a 2-minute recess?
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Was discussing with staff, because staff was the one who introduced the text amendment, whether or not they wanted to address any of the questions and issues that were brought up by members of the public. So I'm kind of just making that recommendation. That staff doesn't have to do it, but they have this time to do that.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the recommendation.
I'm just recommending for staff, if they wish to address any of the issues, sort of in this rebuttal period, is an opportunity to do it. Otherwise, they'll take questions from me. I just want to make sure that we're following sort of the process that was outlined in the agenda.
So I'll jump in and I'll respond a little bit. The intent of this modification to the specific plan is to create a more consistency and synergy with the entertainment district that's going to be located on the City Hall campus. That particular entertainment district project includes 360 residential units, 15% of which will be affordable, and then 15% of those will be dedicated for families of veterans. So we do have an affordable component to the entertainment district project here on City Hall campus. The city's currently in partnership with Mercy Housing, and we'll have about 60 units coming online, just coincidentally on Veterans Day, for families of veterans as well. And you might know that, the city has approximately 10,000 veterans that are citizens. That's about 10% of our community are either active military or retired military, and some of them are disabled and injured. Don't worry, that was a firework. So the city is very aggressive and very focused on the development of housing in general, and specifically affordable housing. We are working with a Project Home Key site in partnership with LA County and the Weingart Foundation to provide project-based vouchers for 51 single individual units for permanent supportive housing for our homeless community. So, that's another example of the means in which the city has and the effort it takes to support all components and all members of our community. We do have a sizable RENA number. It's, I think, 5,027 units, about half of which require a certain level of affordability. Along with the projects I mentioned, we have roughly 1,500 to 1,700 units in process, either under construction, under consideration, approved, or on the verge of being approved throughout the city. So, and we're constantly looking for other opportunities to leverage our resources to build affordable housing. The major impediment to building affordable housing is the cost of money right now, and the cost of land, the cost of materials. So, we're working very creatively with our development partners to overcome those barriers so that we could provide more housing choices to our community and more attainable housing to those members of our community that need it the most. As far as the project specific component, we did get a request for a new hotel behind the DoubleTree. That project has basically been dated. We haven't heard anything about it. It's been in process for almost 4 years at this point. So in order to move that forward, there basically need to be a resubmittal. So we're, instead of pairing that project with this specific plan, because they're not ready, we don't know if they're even going to move forward. We decided to move forward to help provide more certainty for development in that area. There wasn't a second hotel contemplated, but there was a sizable office building contemplated. So the idea is, the specific analysis when the hotel comes forward would consider the previously approved use of that office building. So that's just something to consider. And we do understand that all of the impacts will be needing to be evaluated during the specific entitlement project for that, for whatever use comes forward, whether it's an amphitheater, an entertainment venue, or a hotel. So, there are concerns with providing housing so close to the freeway. There's health impacts that increase dramatically when you're within 500 feet to 1,000 feet of the freeway. And so, there's challenges with providing housing so close to the freeway, and there's practical implications to that. So in this case, we decided to focus on creating the housing a little bit further away, so it's a little bit safer. It's more integrated with the commercial and retail opportunities here on City Hall campus. So one other thing we did recently, and we're probably one of the first cities in the region to invoke AB 2011, which is state legislation that went into effect at the beginning of 2023. And we were able to approve a workforce housing project of 76 units of 4-story on grade over on Front Street. And so the intent of that is to provide more attainable housing for our workforce, and then have it be paired with a reimagination and revitalization of our historic Front Street. So, I share some of that. I could talk about the Heart of Norwalk specific plan that is looking for opportunities to develop over 3,500 residential units. And that's paired along with several housing opportunity sites that are identified in our housing element. And so I know I'm sharing a lot of information, but I just want to assure the commission that the approach the staff is taking and our dedication to developing housing throughout the community, we take that seriously, and we're moving forward in a very aggressive manner. So thank you.
Thank you. A lot of great information. Appreciate it. At this point, are there any questions from any other commissioners? No. Okay. At this point, I declare the public hearing closed. I would like to bring the discussion back to the Planning Commission. Does the Planning Commission have any questions or any comments? I'll begin with Commissioner Apodaca.
Yes, I'll start. So we are very aware of the housing requirements. We've been aggressively working on any type of housing projects that we can, as staff has described to you in detail. So we're a 9 square mile city, and we are doing a lot of projects involving housing, as like I just said, or have been described to you. I always say the state would like to put people in little boxes to get them off the street and into some type of housing, which is great. But we also need to remember that the quality of life is important. Everyone deserves, especially property and homeowners, everyone deserves to have a quality of life that's not impacted by over population in a 9 square mile city. But with that being said, in addition to housing, we also need revenue in this city to support all the people that live here. So we need to support the needs. And one of the ways to do that is to have something like a hotel that generates revenue. And also it's next to a freeway, which, as described earlier, that's not really the ideal place to put a whole bunch of housing. So, you know, I mean, I don't see any issue with putting the hotel there. It'll be an enhancement to our entertainment district that is on the horizon, that's already been approved. And then lastly, I'm just extremely intrigued that that a union representing the hospitality workers is opposed to a new hotel. That's just interesting to me. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Barga?
Yes, I'm glad that you answered my question without me having to ask it. I was hearing the comments. I was thinking about all the buildings and all the projects that are being built in the city of Norwalk when it comes to housing. Is what those that have been already mentioned, and you heard that is a lot. Is I can tell you that as an advocate for homelessness and as an advocate also in my professional life, is the homeless liaison for the Norwalk La Mirada Unified School District. I've been working with that for the past 24 years. So I know that it's a issue, it's a big issue, and I know how what a big issue affordable housing is, not only local at our local city level, but at a state and at a national level. And for the reasons that were explained, like the cost, everybody wants affordable housing, but then we have to be very careful as to what it is that we're building. I think that in Norwalk, particularly, we have been doing a really good job of working on that aggressively, and have made steps that that other cities could also take into consideration. So I just I can't say it enough that I'm very comfortable with what Norwalk and our city is doing to address and accommodate that issue of affordability for our families, and like some of the things that they said, land use, all the housing is such a complex issue. And the building of housing is such a complex issue. If it was easy, we would have had that done a long time ago. But I'm glad that the city of Norwalk, that we will continue to work aggressively on making sure that homes are built for our residents here in Norwalk. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Garcia?
No questions.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And just, Chair, if I
yeah.
may, just for clarification, this action by the Planning Commission for the code amendments are recommendations for consideration by the City Council. So this isn't a final action. So everything that we discuss here will be part of the record that goes to the City Council for final action. Just a reminder.
Yes, we're just an advisory body. So the final decisions made at the city council meeting when the city council members vote on it. Okay, so for me, I strongly believe that the city is taking the housing crisis very serious. And like the director said, that we're the only region that has actually taken some action with AB 2011. So I'm very proud that the city has been proactive in seeing that through. And I think that I think that's about it. That's the only comment that I have for right now. And so, Chair's comments are to, I'm sorry, can I have a motion?
All right. I'll adopt resolution number 24-02 to recommend approval to City Council for zoning text amendment number 2024-01 and consider and find that the project is exempt from the California Environmental Quality Act pursuant to CEQA guidelines section 15061B3, common sense exemption, where it can be seen with certainty there is no possibility that the activity in question may have significant effect on the environment.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Barragan,
Yes.
Commissioner Garcia,
Aye.
Vice Chair Apodaca,
Aye.
Chair Lopez.
Aye. Next on the agenda is a public hearing to consider zoning text amendment number 2024-02. Ruth, public notice information, please.
Chair Lopez, members of the commission. On June the 14th, a notice was duly posted at the city's three posting sites on the city's website and published. As of this date, a letter from the law office of Jordan R. Csen on behalf of Local 11 has been provided to the commission, expressing several concerns.
Thank you. Staff report, please.
Consulting Senior Planner with Community Development Department. I present for your consideration zoning text amendment 2024-02, a request to amend Title 17 zoning to establish a review process to create a special sign district and the associated environmental determination to consider and find this project to be exempt from CEQA pursuant to section 15061 B3 under the common sense exemption of the California Code of Regulations. This project is a city staff initiated project. Staff is recommending the Planning Commission approve and adopt Resolution 24-03 to recommend approval to City Council for zoning text amendment 2024-02 and consider and find the project is exempt from the California Environmental Quality Act pursuant to section 15061 B3 of the California Code of Regulations. Zoning text amendment 2024-02 defines the purpose of a special sign district, establishes a review process for the creation of a special sign district, clarifies the appropriate review authority, and sets the minimum requirement to create a special sign district. What is a special sign district and what is the benefit? A special sign district is an overlay containing multiple parcels reasonably grouped together that would allow for the approval of a freestanding sign. What is the benefit? Excuse me. With this code amendment, businesses have another tool to construct more effective signage through their district, which may allow their signage to be more visible to the freeway or street traffic. The proposed zoning code amendment establishes the framework to create special sign districts, which is processed similar to a zone change. Any proposed sign district must be noticed similar to a zone change and establishes City Council as the appropriate review authority. Zoning text amendment 2024 also sets the minimum requirements or site conditions to form a district, which I will go into in the next slide. Special sign district development standards are as follows. The proposed special sign district shall only include parcels within specific plan area 1, SPA 16, mixed use, commercial, institutional, and public facility overlay zone districts. They shall have a minimum combined land area of 5 acres. The parcel shall be contiguous, but may be separated by a railroad or public street. The existing uses shall include one or more of the following: vehicle sales and lease, general, new, and used, hotels and motels with 100 more rooms, or a retail tenant with a minimum area of 10,000 square feet. The sign design guidelines for each district will be reviewed when a special sign district request is received. Staff finds that the purpose of a special sign district aligns with the goals and policies set forth in the general plan and will provide an additional economic tool for businesses to utilize to expand commerce in the city. Notice of the public hearing was published in the Norwalk Patriot and posted in the city's 3 designated posting sites and the city's website on June 14th, 2024. There was one letter that was received this afternoon that was made part of the record. In conclusion, based on staff's analysis, staff recommends the Planning Commission recommend approval of zoning text amendment number 2024-02. And this concludes staff's presentation. Staff is available to answer any questions.
Thank you. Does the commission have any questions for staff? If no questions, the public hearing is now open. Public testimony will now be heard in the following order: those in favor, those opposed, and a rebuttal if needed. Staff, were there any public comments in favor that were received prior to this meeting?
No.
Is there anyone in attendance who is in favor? Okay, staff. Staff, were there any public comments in opposition that were received prior to this meeting?
Yes, the letter that was received this afternoon.
Is that okay? Is there anyone in attendance who is in opposition? Okay. You can, no, you don't, okay. Okay. Rebuttal if needed? No.
So this particular item is focused on the creation of a sign district that extends out to Imperial, Norwalk. Is it also the library, Sophia?
This one is actually the process being established in the zoning code. The following item goes into the actually special zone, the formation of one new sign district.
Oh, okay. Oh, I got them confused. So this has to do with the creation of.
It just establishes it into code so that in the future, city council can approve a special sign district.
Okay. So this isn't really geared towards commercial uses and focused on the entertainment district, but it doesn't relate specifically to hotels or hotel uses or any type of specific development. So it's just a mechanism for future potential development.
Correct.
Thank you. At this point, I declare the public hearing closed. I would like to bring the discussion back to the Planning Commission. Does any Planning Commissioners have any questions or any comments? Beginning with Commissioner Apodaca.
So clarification real quick, you just mentioned, so City Council would create this sign district in the future. This just gives them the opportunity to do so. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Bargan? Commissioner Garcia?
No.
Okay, and I don't have any questions or comments. Can I have a motion?
All right. I'll move that the Planning Commission adopt resolution number 24-03 to recommend approval to City Council for zoning text amendment number 2024-02 and consider and find that the project is exempt from the California Environment Quality Act pursuant to section 15061B3 of the California Code of Regulations, also known as the Common Sense Exemption, and section 15311, class 11 accessory structures of the California Code of Regulations for the construction or replacement of minor accessory structures, including on-premise signs.
Second.
Okay, sorry.
Roll call, please.
Yeah, roll call, please.
Yes. Commissioner Barragan,
Yes.
Commissioner Garcia,
Aye.
Vice Chair Apodaca, Chair Lopez.
Aye. Thank you. The next on the agenda is public hearing to consider zone change number 2024-001, zoning text amendment number 2024-03. Ruth, public notice information, please.
Chair Lopez and members of the commission, on June the 14th, a notice was duly posted at the city's three posting sites, on the city's website, and published. In addition, 4 notices were posted on or in proximity to the subject parcels. As of this date, 1 phone call has been received asking for clarification. In addition, we received that letter this evening from the law office of Jordan R. Csen on behalf of Local 11, expressing concerns with the project.
Staff report, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The proposal presented for your consideration is zone change 2024-01 and zoning text amendment 2024-03 to establish a special sign district number 1, and the associated environmental determination to consider and find the proposed project is exempt pursuant to sections 15061B3 common sense exemption and 15311 accessory structures on the California Code of Regulations. The project is a city staff initiated project. Staff is recommending Planning Commission approve and adopt Resolution 24-04, recommending City Council to approve zone change number 2024-01, approve and adopt Resolution number 24-05, recommending City Council approve zone text amendment 2024-03, and consider and find the project is exempt from California Environmental Quality Act pursuant to 15061B3 of the California Code of Regulations, also known as common sense exemption, and section 15311 class 11 accessory structures of the California Code of Regulations. Existing conditions. Special sign district number 1 impacts 11 parcels in SPA or SPA 16, SPA 1, and institutional zones. In 2023, City Council adopted the Norwalk Entertainment District, Civic Center SPA 16, highlighted on the screen in green. The aim of SPA 16 is to advance the city's goals for the plan area, including the Civic Center, as an economic node to enhance the area as a thriving and experience-oriented center for residents and visitors. Specific plan, oops, let me go back here, sorry about that. SPA 1 is a mixed-use development approved in 1987. SPA 1 is located to the south of SPA 16. SPA 1 parcels included in this proposal for a special sign district 1 include the AMC Theater, retail pad tenants, and the Outback Steakhouse. The Doubletree and the Sycamore Village is not included in this proposed district. The institutional uses shown in gray on the screen would be included in the district boundary. There's one existing freestanding sign located on the Outback Steakhouse property. The current height of the sign is 70 feet, and the Outback Steakhouse and the City of Norwalk currently have sign panels on the structure, which was constructed in 1999. Due to freeway expansions and changes to the I-5, the visibility of the sign has been diminished over time. Zone Change 2024-01 is a request to establish SD1 overlay. The parcels highlighted in orange on the screen would be part of the new special sign district, SD1. As mentioned earlier, SD1 is comprised of 11 non-residential properties located within SPA 1, SPA 16, institutional and public facility overlay zone districts. Establishing SD1 would provide regulatory relief for the relocation of the existing Outback Steakhouse sign, allowing it to be replaced with the taller freestanding sign that may include other businesses within the district to be showcased on its sign panels. The Zoning Text Amendment 2024-03 proposes to amend Title 17 zoning Chapter 1701, Administration, Article 2, and limiting uses, land therein, Title 17, Development Requirements, Article 3, to establish SD1 development standards and allow one freeway-oriented freestanding sign. The proposed development standard is as followed. One static freestanding freeway-oriented sign up to 100 feet tall shall be permitted. Proposed signs shall be illuminated or non-illuminated. May have a maximum width of 30 feet. May have a maximum number of 6 sign panels for up to 6 tenants. At this time, there is no implementing project for SD1. So there's not a sign being presented tonight. These are just standards for a feature submittal that we may receive. Any future signs associated with invoking SD1 would require the review and approval of the Planning Commission, subject to a sign use permit. Staff finds that the Special Sign District Number 1 aligns with the goals and policies set forth in the general plan and will provide additional economic tools for the businesses to utilize and expand commerce. Notice of this public hearing was published in the Norwalk Patriot and posted in the city's 3 designated posting sites and the city's website on June 14, 2024. One message was received requesting clarification of the proposal, and again, a letter was received this afternoon that was made part of the record. Based on our analysis, staff recommends Planning Commission approve and adopt Resolution 24-04, recommending City Council approve zone change 2024-01, approve and adopt Resolution 2405, recommending City Council approve zone text amendment 2024-03, consider and find the project is exempt from California Environmental Acts pursuant to Section 15061B3, the California Code of Regulations, also known as the Common Sense Exemption, and Section 15311, Class 11 accessory structures of the California Code of Regulations. And this concludes staff's presentation, and we are available for any questions.
Thank you. Does the commission have any questions for staff?
A question, me. The thought process behind not including the hotels?
I'm sorry, not including
the a hotel signage, for example, the current one that's there.
Right, the portion doesn't include where the DoubleTree sits. That was omitted.
So they would have their own signage
They would have their
eventually,
own
or if they
signage.
wanted it.
That's correct. They would have their own signage on the sign. They wouldn't be part of this SD1.
Okay.
Yeah, we're working with the DoubleTree to relocate their existing sign. There's an existing sign along the freeway that identifies the DoubleTree, the AMC, and Sonoma Grill, which is in the DoubleTree Hotel, and it's aged and it's ready to maybe be enhanced. So we're working with the DoubleTree and the Water District, who owns the underlying property where that sign's located, and we're working with them to see if there's a way we can relocate it and make it a little bit taller, update it so that it provides better visibility for those uses for the AMC, the DoubleTree, and Sonoma Grill. So they'll have their visibility off the freeway. When Caltrans widened the freeway, there's a lot of changes that occurred, but the signs were built with the old freeway in mind. So this is part of a different effort by the city to help promote that particular group of businesses.
All right, very good. Thank you. That's all I have.
Are there any other questions for staff? If no more questions, the public hearing is now open. Public testimony will now be heard in the following order. Applicant, those opposed, and then the rebuttal if needed. Staff, were there any public comments in favor that were received prior to this meeting?
There was not.
Is there anyone in attendance who is in favor? Staff, were there any public comments in opposition that were received prior to this meeting?
There was one phone message, and one letter.
Thank you. Is there anyone in attendance who is in opposition? Okay, sure. Just please again state your name and your address. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Jordan Sisson, Riverside, California. I'll be very quick. First, I want to thank staff, very respectful, beautiful council chambers. Just had 3 real quick clarifications. One, I would respectfully request that the chair ask planning if there's any anticipated hearing date for the council to consider these 3 ZTAs. 2, I want to make sure if you can clarify whether or not my office has been put on the notification list on behalf of my client, Unite Here Local 11, as well as my 3rd and final. I want to make sure that the Honorable Director and City Attorney has a hard copy with that. I will leave it with the City Clerk to ensure that. And lastly, thank you so much and for indulging this additional minute. Thank you.
Thank you. If you'd like, I could just respond real quick. So thank you for the hard copies. We'll take them and we'll make sure everybody gets them. And the anticipated city council date, I think right now is July 16th. So we normally have 2 meetings per month, but because of the holiday, we only have 1 in July. So July 16th, same time and same location, 6 p.m. here in the chambers. And do you have a 3rd question, or was that it?
No, just making sure.
Okay. Yeah. So great. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Is there a rebuttal?
No, this particular item is it's the resultant sign district following the prior zoning text amendment. So the city council, their goal is to promote all the businesses in the city and specifically promote and identify certain regions that have a lot of economic potential. And so with our work in what we call Economic Development Node 1 here in the Entertainment District, this is part of that effort to provide higher visibility to all the businesses going from the Outback, the Doubletree, all the way through AMC, and the new businesses that are yet to be built here on the City Hall campus. So it's all part of that economic development effort. That's all.
Thank you. At this point, I declare the public hearing closed. I'd like to bring the discussion back to the Planning Commission. Does the Planning Commissioners have any questions or any comments? Beginning with Commissioner Apodaca.
I have no further questions tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Barragan. Thank you. Commissioner Garcia.
No questions.
Okay, and then myself, I don't have any questions. Can I have a motion?
All right. The Planning Commission adopt resolution number 24-04 to recommend approval to City Council for zone change number 2024-01. Adopt resolution number 24-05 to recommend approval to City Council for zoning text amendment number 2024-03. And consider and find that the project is exempt from the California Environmental Quality Act pursuant to section 15061B3 of the California Code of Regulations, also known as the Common Sense Exemption, and section 15311 Class 11 accessory structures of the California Code of Regulations for the construction or replacement of minor accessory structures, including on-premise signs.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Barragan, Commissioner Garcia,
Aye.
Vice Chair Apodaca,
Aye.
Chair Lopez.
Aye. Thank you. Okay, our last item on the agenda is special presentation. Next on the agenda is special presentation to Planning Commissioner Gabriel Garcia to present commendation to Commissioner Garcia.
So thank you, Chair. What I wanted to do was just share a little bit of acknowledgement with Commissioner Garcia, since this is his last Planning Commission meeting. He is engaging in a wonderful opportunity in what I would refer to as a paradise. So in Hawaii. And so we're going to miss him, and we wanted to take a minute to acknowledge him and his effort and passion for this community. And I'm going to read the commendation, and then I'll wrap it up with the really quick comment. But so this commendation is from the city of Norwalk, and it's under Norwalk Planning Commission Resolution number 2406. Whereas Gabriel P. Garcia was first appointed to the Planning Commission by Councilmember Ana Valencia on April 7, 2020, and served through June 28, 2024. And whereas Gabriel P. Garcia has supported the general plan and has provided valuable input on the preparation of revisions to various municipal code amendments throughout the city, and whereas Gabriel P. Garcia has been instrumental in making Norwalk a better place to live and working diligently or by diligent review of a variety of commercial, industrial, and residential projects. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Norwalk Planning Commission does hereby commend Gabriel P. Garcia for his service of 4 years to the city of Norwalk and its residents, for his devotion of time and energy in performing his duties as a member of the Norwalk Planning Commission, and for being a loyal and trusted servant of the Norwalk family. Approved and adopted this 26th day of June, 2024. So I have the official certificate here. I'm the only signature. We're going to get some more signatures on it for you, and then we have one for the file. And I just wanted to share on a personal note that the last 4 years, 4.5 years of Commissioner Garcia's tenure has been a really interesting 4 years with the pandemic and Zoom meetings and in-person meetings and sort of this meeting, sort of in person, sort of in Zoom. And we have had the opportunity to have him participate and support all of these incredible projects that we're starting to see that will be breaking ground in the next year. As a planning commissioner myself in my community, I understand the dedication and passion that each of you have. And so I just wanted to extend a thanks to you, Commissioner Garcia, for taking the time to serve the Norwalk community and put your heart in it. And this is all volunteer. And so I just wanted to extend a specific appreciation to you and wish you the best of luck in Hawaii. Don't forget about us over here on the land side, us land dwellers. But best of luck. And like I said, we'll keep in touch. Thank you.
Thank you. Any comments from any of the commissioners?
I would like to wish you the best over in Hawaii. I had no idea that's where you're going to go, but you can probably pick a better place than that, right? So best wishes. We hope you're truly happy there. Come back and visit us once in a while, I guess.
Anybody, any other comments from any of the commissioners?
I'll piggyback in that and just say best wishes. Best wishes.
I like to say that well, I'm jealous that you're moving over there. I wish I could do that maybe one day. But thank you so much for your hard work and your dedication. And I could really tell that you really care about the city and city of Norwalk and the residents. You could tell your heart was really into your job as a planning commissioner. And thank you for all your input, your questions during all of our meetings. And thank you for your service. Like Director John said that, it is volunteer. So we really appreciate your dedication and coming to every meeting, and wish you best of luck on your future, and enjoy your time in Hawaii. Thank you.
I guess I'm last. I sent a email to Ruth and John and the city manager and Ana Valencia last week that I'm resigning from the commission. Effectively, Friday will be my last day. Today will be my last commission meeting. I've accepted the employment in the county of Maui, so I'll be moving to Maui, not as a tourist, but as a guy that enjoys Maui. Now I'll be working for the county of Maui. And so I'll be collecting a second retirement. I have to work 10 years. They're not as advanced as CalPERS is in the state of California, but nonetheless, it'll be an adventure, if I say the least. But I'm going to come back. I think the next time I come back will be Labor Day weekend, because my family and friends are still live in California. So it'll be a unique opportunity. And one thing is that the housing in Maui is scarce. because the west side of Maui has burned down in Lahaina, but I'll be working in the central part of Maui, where that's where the city hall is. And the county of Maui is responsible for, or the mayor is responsible for Maui, Lanai, and Molokai. So the three islands, and the other islands have mayors, and they're responsible for the jurisdiction in their islands. So it'll be a unique opportunity for me. I'll be working for the Department of Parks and Recreation in the county of Maui. So it'll be different. And I told John that I'll have to learn the laws of Hawaii. I know the culture, but it's a lot different being an employee of Maui. So with that, I look forward to it. My plane leaves on Saturday at 4:30 in the afternoon, LAX, and I won't be back until September. So thank you. Appreciate it.
Sorry. Can I have a motion?
Recommended action that the Planning Commission adopt resolution number 2406 commending Gabriel P. Garcia for his service of 4 years on the Planning Commission.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Barragan,
Aye.
Commissioner Garcia.
Aye.
Vice Chair Apodaca.
Aye.
Chair Lopez.
Aye. Okay, is there, now we have oral communications. Is there anyone wishing to speak under oral communications?
Yes, Commission Chair. Sorry, that
Thank
was
you.
loud. Alex Hamilton, Interim Community Development Director, actually effective Monday. So I look forward to working with the Planning Commission. As John said, a lot of great projects on the horizon here in the city. Very exciting. I do have a very quick update for you on a project that is going to be coming to you on July 10th, which is the Norwalk Transit Village, which has been in the works for a few years. I've got a bunch of slides, more slides than I need, but as you know, there's been outreach starting in 2022 on this. I think can't get this pointer to work, but there's been a significant amount of outreach on this project. As you know, it's Lewis that is the developer. It's an approximately 30-acre site, and the overarching goal was to have a transit-oriented eco-community, a true mixed-use community consisting of various types of housing, open spaces, commercial, and potential hospitality. John, I could try and point. So that's kind of an overview of the site. As you know, I'm sure you're all familiar with the site.
Just say next slide.
Next slide. Yeah, thank you. So you can see that this is a carryover from what was presented to council. Many of these slides are back in 2022. Next slide. So there was a lot of feedback from the community, and the developer and the city has listened to that feedback and incorporated in the design all the various elements that go to make a really, truly complete transit-oriented community. Next slide. This is just a sample of some of the community engagement. Again, very well documented outreach. Next, please. Themes that I touched on: connectivity, access to transportation, housing. I would like to point out, as John had mentioned earlier, and it is truly the case, the city is doing an incredible amount of things for the production of housing, including affordable housing. And this development alone is required to have about 30% of the project, the units, be devoted to be affordable units. The levels of affordability have yet to be determined, but that's a commitment that the city insisted on, and that's going to be seen through on this project. Next slide. There's the site plan. It's pretty much similar to what you've seen before, but it's the specific plan that'll be before you on the 10th is designed to, it's kind of like what we call a form-based code, where there's some flexibility that's designed into it, but the theme is connectivity, also respect for the adjacent residential neighborhoods to the north and south with the appropriate buffers and height limit restrictions, and a connection to the park to the east. Next slide. There's just a perspective rendering. Next. And then next steps are, as I mentioned, the draft specific plan and the final environmental impact report will be before you for your review and recommendation to the City Council on the 10th of July. And then we anticipate City Council consideration and adoption of the specific plan and certification of the final environmental document in August of 2024. And then after that's concluded, the city will conclude with the state the transfer of the land. As you know, it's the former youth authority site. So this is my overview, and just give you a heads up as to what's coming on the next meeting. And the deck will be cleared, as they say, for this project because there's a lot of components to it. We'll try and touch on the major themes of the project and make sure that we document and set up all the actions that you need to take as a planning commission to recommend to the City Council. Be more than happy to answer any questions should you have any.
Thank you. Does staff have any comments?
So the one thing I wanted to share, I'll tie this up and then I have one last item. But the formal package for this project will come to you in the next week. And it's it's one of the projects that we often refer to as staff as a transformational project. And when you're in our field of work, you don't always get to work on a lot of these. But here in Norwalk, we probably have 4 or 5 going on right now. And there's a few more coming that we can't even share with you yet. So keep your seatbelts on. This is the very beginning of a great ride. And, the next public hearing, there's going to be a public hearing at the Planning Commission, and then there will be two meetings at City Council. But when you see this item before you, please be sure to ask any questions you need, any questions you want to ask, and Alex and the team will be ready to answer it. We're partnering with Lewis on the land development, and we have 2 consultants, CSG and Michael Baker International, supporting the specific plan and the EIR effort. So there'll be a lot of resources to ensure that you, as the commission, who are our ambassadors to the community and representatives of the community, are fully informed and feel comfortable with the decision you're going to make. So the next item is just for me to express my appreciation to each of you. I've been here for about 4.5 years. This is likewise my last Planning Commission meeting here at the City of Norwalk, and I'm officially retiring from my municipal career. And June 28th, this Friday, is my last day here with the city. And my official last date, where I separate and start drawing PERS benefits, isn't until August. But for practical purposes, Friday's my last day, and this is my last Planning Commission meeting. Last week, I had my last council meeting and last 2 executive team meetings. And it's been a lot more emotional for me than I had anticipated. I'm not a rock like Gabe. He's a solid man down there. I get a little emotional, but it's an opportunity that I've been contemplating with my family for some time. And, if I get bored, I can always go back to work. So, but I wanted to thank each of you. I've had the opportunity to get to meet and learn and get to know each of you, and it's been wonderful, going to ICSC and then seeing you here at Planning Commission meetings and at other events. And, you'll always be my commission. So I really appreciate the support that you have given me as your director, and the support you've given the staff as your staff. And so I wanted to express my thanks. And even though I'll be retired, I will still keep my eye on things at Norwalk. And I've committed to Alex and the rest of the team that, I'm not going as far away as Hawaii. I'll be in Garden Grove. So I'm always available for a quick call or a text, or, how can I help and help support, help the city move forward on these projects, since I've been involved for such a long time. But I just wanted to thank each of you. And you might see me pop up somewhere. I'm threatening to go to the senior center for their $2 lunches. And I understand that McDonald's coffee, if you're a senior citizen, is like 55 cents. So you might see me at McDonald's across the street. So, but I just wanted to thank you, and I appreciate everything you do for the community and everything you've done for me and for staff. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone want to make any comments?
Well, John, didn't know you were leaving, so we're going to miss you. Like you said, you're not going to go as far away as Gabe, but pop in and see how all these projects are going to end up over the next 10 years, right? So thank you for everything you did. Thank you for all the quick responses that you always gave me whenever I'd send you a text about the 105 freeway collisions. Every time I'd send him a photo as soon as I saw it. The first thing I thought about is John. So anyway, thank you for everything, John. We're going to miss you.
I have one comment. Congratulations, John. And ironically, John's his boss used to work with me in Orange. She was an RDA, and she got hired to become the director of development for Garden Grove, and she got promoted a year later to become the ACM. Now she's city manager of Garden Grove. Lisa Kim.
John, I just wanted to say thank you so much for your leadership, and thank you so much for guiding us. I know that it's all the questions and having to repeat yourself sometimes, or and like you said, no question is a bad question. There's no bad question, and always keeping us informed. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, I'm last. I thought at the ICSC conference you said you were gonna not leave us, but I mean, I think I asked you, or I think it was Jesus, like that. I hope that you stay. I hope we. It seems like it's like a high turnover rate for not in a bad way, but it seems like a lot of the directors, they come for a little bit and then they leave, and I know to promote or they see better opportunities. So I think I had a conversation with you and you said you weren't gonna go to another city, but you tricked me.
I don't remember. What happens in Vegas. I don't remember. No, yeah, it's. I'm excited, but I'm also a little sad about moving on. But my goal right now is just kind of slow down the pace of life a little bit, and but I'll be in the background.
Okay, no, we're happy for you. We're sad for ourselves because we're losing you. But I'm happy that you're retiring. You do deserve to rest and to just take it easy and enjoy the rest of, enjoy your life and not be stressed out. But just I want to thank you for all your expertise, your hard work, your dedication to the city. Thank you for answering all of our questions and giving us support and leadership, and just in working on all these what did you call it, transformative projects. Wouldn't you like to stay to see those projects out? But it's okay. We know that you are looking forward to retirement, so if you do ever get bored, you can come back. But we do appreciate all your leadership and your hard work, and we will miss you, and we wish you good luck in your future as a retiree. And thank you. Okay. Does staff have any comments? I'm not sure if I said that already. With there being no further business, this meeting is adjourned.